Imagine if you could wake up every morning feeling amazing. Instead of waking up with a headache or struggling to open your eyes because you're still so tired, you just leap out of bed, full of life and ready to go and take on the day. This energy is enough to carry you through workouts, through your office job, and through the evenings when you still have enough left in the tank to chat or play with your family. You have enough energy to work on projects, to keep the house clean and tidy, and to make the very most of every last hour. And imagine if you had the dream physique you've always wanted: flat abs, ripped muscles, and skin that looks glowing and healthy. Of course, there's no quick fix that can make all of this a reality, but it's a very good aim to have. And actually, there are just a few simple things you can do that will immediately take you a lot closer to that reality. One of them is to start drinking a smoothie every day. Really? A smoothie? A drink that can improve your health, your mood, your appearance, and your energy levels? Definitely, and much more as well. In this video series, you'll learn how smoothies can change your life, and you'll discover easy recipes for smoothies that boost immunity, fight stress, improve athletic performance, build muscle, fight cancer, and much more. Let's take a look at just how it happens. A smoothie is, of course, a blend of different fruits and vegetables. You simply take a bunch of fruits, drop them into a blender, and hit go so that your drink will be ready to consume. It's a simple process, but it's enough to give you a drink that not only tastes amazing, but also provides you with a ton of nutrition. And this is the key word: nutrition. What is incredibly important for all of us is that we eat a nutrient-dense diet. It isn't enough just to view our diet as a source of fuel. It must also be a source of raw materials that provide us with enhanced performance and health. The old saying that you are what you eat is literally true. Your muscles, your bones, your hormones, your brain cells, your immune system, and your digestive enzymes are all made from nutrients in your food, and that's what makes it so important. When you consume fruits, meats, or vegetables, your body will proceed to break them down and use the constituent parts to perform numerous jobs throughout your system. This helps you to grow, to develop, to fight illness, and to function optimally. And it's no coincidence that we need fruits, vegetables, and other ingredients to thrive. After all, these are the things we evolved eating. Our biology didn't force us to seek out these foods. The foods were available, so our biology adapted to survive on them. We need these ingredients to thrive, and without them, we start to literally fall apart. We start to see signs of poor health, such as difficulty sleeping, brittle hair and nails, weaker bones, and lack of muscle tone. Our eyes aren't quite as white, and we lose that spring in our step. Our hormones fall out of whack, and we eventually start to see serious illnesses and other conditions slowly arise. And this isn't the exception. This isn't a rare and unfortunate scenario that only some people experience. This is the norm. Did you know that a huge number of the diseases and illnesses which affect us in old age are actually highly avoidable degenerative diseases? Your body was built to last your entire life. In theory, you should be able to stay healthy, active, and engaged right up until you keel over. But malnutrition allows all sorts of problems to slowly creep up on us, from weak bones to heart disease to high blood pressure to arthritis to dementia. Not all of these conditions are avoidable, but in many cases they are. So, what's the problem with our modern diet? Well, the biggest issue is that we eat far too much processed food. What is processed food? Well, simply put, it's food that has been manufactured and prepared in such a way that it bears little resemblance to the original ingredients. A good example might be a sausage roll. Here, you think that you're getting some meat and pastry. The pastry is made from flour and egg, but at least the sausage is real meat, filled with real amino acids and minerals, right? Wrong. That meat is most likely a combination of all the cast-offs from countless other meals that have been blended together and mushed up into a pulp. This means you're getting the gristle and the parts of the meat that no one would eat in any other format. From there, the sausage meat has copious amounts of sugar, salt, and fat added. This helps to preserve the sausage and make sure it looks that appetizing grey colour when you come to eat it. What about the fruits and vegetables you get in your cereal and your breakfast bars? No, they're just as bad. These fruits have been freeze-dried. That means they have been subjected to a vacuum and sub-zero temperatures. The low temperature will have frozen the moisture to the point where it becomes tiny icicles, and the low pressure will have forcibly removed them from the fruit. You think that won't take with it some of the all-important nutrients along the way? Apart from anything else, when you consume something containing vitamin C, you need the moisture in order to absorb it. Vitamin C is literally a water-soluble vitamin, and you can't use it if it's not presented correctly. And once again, lots of sugar and other additives will be added which will make your fruit look colourful and remain edible. Something like crisps or chocolate bars, meanwhile, barely have any nutrients in them to begin with. And this means you are consuming empty calories. An empty calorie is food like sausage rolls, like unhealthy breakfast cereals, and like ready meals that contain lots of calories but very little actual nutrition. You're temporarily filling yourself up and spiking your blood sugar, but you're not providing any actual sustenance. Plus, these empty calories take the form of simple carbs. Because there's nothing real left in them, you'll digest them too quickly, resulting in a spike in blood sugar. This provides a short energy burst, but then that runs out just as quickly, leaving you craving real food. Moreover, you'll be malnourished and fail to get the vitamins and minerals you need. What's more, this will eventually translate to the build-up of more serious diseases and conditions. Failing to get proper food in your diet is also what causes snacking behavior and weight gain. This is partly due to the fact that your blood sugar troughs so soon after it spikes, and partly due to the fact that your body will crave the things it needs. If you're not getting enough vitamin C, your body will tell you it wants something sweet. It's trying to communicate that you need an orange or an apple, but years of training means that you'll interpret this as needing a chocolate bar. And even before that happens, you'll find you gain weight easily and you have to drag yourself through the day like some kind of zombie. When you view food just as fuel and forget it's also sustenance, that is when your body starts to fail you. So, why are smoothies the answer? Well, the answer is simple. Fruits and vegetables are particularly high in many of the micronutrients we really need. They also provide them in a manner that is highly convenient and easy for the body to absorb. And thus, when we drink smoothies, we provide a hit of great stuff that will help to power us through the day. There are alternative options, of course. One is just to try and get more home-prepared fruit and veg in your diet. This will definitely help to supply all the same nutrients, but let's be honest, it's also a lot of hard work and something many of us will fail at. Be honest with yourself. Will you really commit to cooking dinner from scratch every night? Are you really likely to stick to your 5 fruits a day as well? Note as well that the whole 5 fruit and veg daily guidance is highly arbitrary. The reality is we need more nutrients than 5 fruits and vegetables will supply us with. It's also important to note that it's more about what we're eating than how much. Eating a kiwi fruit, avocado, mango, blueberries and banana will have a far different impact than eating 5 apples or any other collection of fruits and vegetables. And don't even get me started on sauces and ready meals that claim they offer 1 of your 5 a day. Apart from the fact that they don't offer any of the same fiber that you get from real fruit, there is barely a more meaningless phrase in existence. Smoothies offer a convenient way to make sure you're getting a big helping of vitamins and minerals which are ready to go, and that makes them an excellent solution to combat many of the ill effects of a modern diet. Smoothies also let you get much more creative and not spend hours peeling or cutting up your fruits. The other alternative solution that may already have crossed your mind is to take supplements in order to get your requirements of vitamins and minerals. While this is a good option, it's important to recognize that supplementing is never as effective as getting the same minerals and nutrients naturally. Once again, this comes down to our evolution and the way our bodies were designed to get sustenance. Some vitamins, for example, are best absorbed with fats, while others are better absorbed with water. Some get absorbed right away, whereas others take longer to digest. Some vitamins and minerals work best when taken at the same time. Now, many supplements don't take these things fully into account, and the result is that a lot of the goodness ends up getting flushed down the toilet. With fruits and vegetables, though, the vitamins and minerals are readily available in a bioavailable form that the body is much better at using. So, what should you expect when you start drinking smoothies regularly? As I suggested at the start of this video, you should expect to see your energy change in a big way. All the most energetic people I know, all the people who are most driven and focused when it comes to working towards goals and getting what they want, are people who have regular smoothies. You can also expect to feel better in a ton of other ways. You'll find that your skin, hair and nails look better. You'll find that your eyes are whiter and people will comment that you have a healthy glow. You'll feel healthier too. You'll sleep better, you'll find that you get ill much less often, and you'll find you need to snack less throughout the day. You'll lose weight too, thanks partially to the smaller intake of food, a nice side effect of reduced cravings and hunger, and partly due to the increased metabolic rate of your body that will help you to burn through fat. Best of all, you'll be reinforcing your body and improving your long-term health, so you're less likely to develop cancer, Alzheimer's, heart disease, or countless other conditions. And this shouldn't come as a surprise. This is no alien supplement that is supercharging your body. This is how you're meant to feel. This is how we felt all the time, before we forgot that we were meant to eat real food. Before we dive right in, though, you need to be aware that there are some downsides and risks involved with smoothies. Now, smoothies can do a world of good, and throughout the rest of this video series, you'll be learning the ingredients, techniques, and tricks to enjoying some seriously healthy and tasty juices. But unfortunately, as with any health trend, there are also those on the web who are pushing false information and generally causing harm to the good name of smoothies. The first thing to be aware of is the idea of juice fasting. Here, people will use smoothies as a meal replacement and will only survive on juice for a period of days or weeks. They claim this is a great way to detox the body and remove toxins, amongst other things, as well as being a good way to jumpstart your fat loss. Now, this is not a good idea. As far as detoxing goes, what's important to keep in mind is that this is another arbitrary term that doesn't really have any meaning. There is no scientific proof that we need to detox in any way or that we have a build-up of toxins. The truth is our body has its own system of detoxification, and this works just fine without our help. Your body will have no difficulty in removing toxins over time, and they're not likely to build up or increase in number anyway. In one study, researchers asked the makers of detoxing hair products to name some of the toxins that their shampoos and conditioners could combat. They found that the manufacturer could give no good explanation. We like the notion of detoxing because it seems to make intuitive sense, but in reality, this is actually just a waste of time. And what you also need to be aware of is the high sugar content found in smoothies. Now, sugar is not always a bad thing, and over the course of this video series, you'll learn to mitigate the sugar found in your smoothies. However, when you remove the food from your diet, you remove the buffer to protect you from the sugar and the acidity in your smoothies. This can result in some serious damage to your health, and a diet consisting purely of smoothies is likely to damage the stomach lining and, more importantly, the teeth. I actually know someone who tried a smoothie fast, despite my protestations, and they ended up eroding all of the enamel from their teeth. They had to go to the dentist and lost 2 teeth after just 1 week. So think long and hard before you jump on board any juice fasts or other trends. The last thing to think about is whether or not a diet is sustainable. If you're going to kickstart a diet by using an extreme fast, then you'll be putting your body through hell only to return to a normal type of eating. That means your weight will simply return to what it was before the fast and you won't have benefited. Moreover, when you fast for this long, you actually increase your likelihood of storing fat. Numerous processes in the body ensure this, but one key example is that your body will produce a lot of cortisol as a response to low blood sugar. This cortisol encourages lipogenesis, the creation of new fat stores. Oh, and it also destroys the muscle via the release of myostatin, which makes you less metabolically active. It depletes testosterone significantly too, which further slows down your metabolism. But you're getting sugar, right? From all that fruit. Yes, but only simple sugar. Fruits absorb very quickly into the bloodstream, and that means you're going to be getting 3 massive spikes of energy throughout the day and nothing more. Now, this is not good for your insulin sensitivity, and it means you're highly likely to store all that sugar as fat. So, in short, avoid juice fasts and smoothie cleanses. Instead, focus on adding smoothies to your diet. Smoothies do a ton of good, but, as we've learned, they also carry a few risks with them. If you're now concerned at the potential damage that the sugar in smoothies can do, it might have put you off the idea of adding smoothies to your diet. But don't worry. When you add just one smoothie of a reasonable size to your morning routine, you have nothing to worry about. This is especially true if you also make sure that you reduce sugar from other sources in your diet. If you have particularly sensitive teeth, though, or if you don't react well to sugar, another option is to focus more on vegetable smoothies or to look for fruits which are lower in sugar. There are plenty of good options to choose from, and adding more water to your smoothie can also help to dilute it. When we go through the recipes and tips, you'll see there are a number of different options that are lower in sugar than average. We don't have any smoothie recipes to start making yet, but to start with, that isn't going to matter. Instead, we're going to look at the basics that apply to any smoothie. Because really, you don't necessarily need a recipe. There's nothing wrong with just experimenting with different combinations of fruits and vegetables and tweaking the ratios to find things you like. Elsewhere in this series, you'll find a guide to the different health benefits of various fruits and vegetables, as well as the benefits of different nutrients, and that can serve as a good starting point. But to get creative, you need to know the basic rules that will apply regardless of your ingredients. How do you make sure that your smoothie is basically tasty and doesn't leave you cold? Well, the first thing to do is to choose the fruits and vegetables that you're going to add to your smoothie. As mentioned, you should choose the fruits and vegetables based on the goals you want to achieve and the nutrients you're interested in. Of course, you should aim for a balance, but ask what your primary goal is too. Is this a fat-burning smoothie, an energy smoothie, or a fiber-packed smoothie? Think too about the sugar content and acidity. Something like a banana or an avocado will be much less sugary than something like an orange or a mango. If you have 1 or 2 ingredients that pack a lot of sugar, then consider adding a few less sweet ingredients to try and even the score. What's also very important is to make sure that you get your ratios correct, and we'll come to this in a moment. The first thing to add to your container before you start making your smoothie is some form of liquid. This, of course, is going to be what keeps your drink a drink and not a mush. What's also important, though, is that you think about how much liquid you want and what type of liquid you're going to use. The most common choice of liquid will be water. However, it's also fairly common to use milk, which comes packed with its own nutrients, or to use fruit juices. It's also normal to use 1 to 2 cups for one person's worth of smoothie. Note that your smoothie's consistency is very much dependent on what you do now. If you want the drink to be very runny, then adding a lot of water and juice is fine. If you prefer a thicker consistency though, then you'll want to add a little less and or choose something that is thicker to begin with, such as milk or even yogurt. Whether you prefer your drink to be runny or thick is entirely a matter of preference and might also vary depending on the recipe and the goal. Common liquids you can use for delicious smoothies include water, almond milk, coconut milk, coconut water, organic fruit juice, freshly squeezed juice, kefir, tea, or yogurt. Have fun and experiment. The next thing to think about is your base texture, and often just referred to as the base. This is what's going to provide the body of your smoothie and give it a thick consistency so that it is a smoothie and not a juice. The aim here is to pick something which has a thicker consistency itself, and that usually means something along the lines of bananas, mangoes, pears, peaches, or avocados. Yogurt, or yogurt as it's also pronounced, also works well, as do nut butters like peanut butter. Coconut meat, chia seeds, ice, frozen fruit, or even cream, although this last option is not quite so healthy, are also things that you might want to consider. Good bases include bananas, mangoes, pears, peanut butter, avocado, yogurt, frozen fruit, peaches, apples, plums, or melon. The next thing to do is to insert the additional fruits and or vegetables in the necessary ratios. You've already set them aside, now you need to choose the specific quantities and add them in. For example, if you're going to make a green smoothie, you'll probably be adding spinach, kale, beet greens, dandelions, lettuce, broccoli, cauliflower, etc. For juicy ones, you'll likely have things like berries, oranges, apples, and so on. You already have your base, and this is going to give the most flavor to begin with. Choosing fruits from here is a matter of choosing what goes well with that base, and you can work this out by thinking about what works well on a plate together. For example, a great dessert is to have berries with yogurt, and for that reason you can get the same delicious effect by adding berries to a yogurt base. This will give you a ton of antioxidants, while the yogurt in particular will help you to get digestive benefits, and we'll talk more about this in a subsequent video. Conversely, strawberries are known to go very well with bananas. Likewise, mangoes and orange is a great mix. With all that done, add your fruits into the blender, de-seeded and de-stoned of course, and then blend them up into a pulp. You can always add more water at this point if you decide it needs it. Remember to keep your hand over the lid though. The instructions in the last video will help you to start experimenting with your own smoothies and feeling the health benefits of getting more vitamins and minerals for yourself. But there are also a number of other things you can do to make your meals that much tastier, to make them that much more fun, or to save yourself time. Here are some tips. Now, there are numerous garnishes you can add to a smoothie if you want to give them a more impressive look and flavor. For example, you can sprinkle some granola or chopped nuts on top, and this will help to fill you up. Nuts are also a great choice if you're going to be using peanut butter as a base. If you feel like your smoothie isn't sweet enough, you might be tempted to add some sugar or a sweetener or syrup. Now, this isn't a particularly good idea. Adding sugar to your smoothie is, of course, only going to exacerbate the issues already associated with the high sugar content in these drinks. Meanwhile, sweeteners actually fool the body into thinking it has consumed sugar, and it will trigger an insulin response, which in turn causes us to feel tired and may be bad for our health. There are some options that people prefer, such as stevia, but on the whole, it's better to stick with natural ingredients. Just add more of the sweeter fruits and maybe consider using some honey. Honey actually has a ton of benefits and is great just before bed. What's actually just as important as learning to make smoothies is learning to fit them into your routine. Earlier in this series, we discussed how you could fix your diet just by aiming to get more fruits and vegetables into it naturally. Of course, this is a simple solution and just as healthy as having fruits and vegetables. The problem, as we saw, was that a lot of people struggle to fit that into their routine. They start out with good intentions, but it only takes a long day at work for cooking a meal to be off the table. Pun very much intended. Likewise, if you're on the train and all you can buy for lunch is a processed sandwich, that won't leave you with much choice but to break the healthy diet. Smoothies are effective because they're easier to fit into a normal routine. But they're not perfectly easy, and from time to time you'll find that they can still seem like too much work, too much mess, and too much effort. This is particularly true considering that you don't just have to make the smoothie, but you also have to clean the smoothie maker, you have to source the fruits and vegetables, and generally put a lot of time and work into preparing them. And they're expensive. The objective here, then, is to make sure we're set up to win. You need to make sure that it's easier to stick with your smoothie plan than it is to cheat on it and skip them. And this video will help you to do exactly that. Now, the first thing to do to minimize the amount of work you have for yourself is by using the right equipment. Front and center is that smoothie maker itself. A good smoothie maker, blender, food processor, or juicer should be highly powerful. You want to have the confidence of knowing that you can throw in any combination of fruits and vegetables, within reason, and it won't break or get stuck in the process. You want it to be fast, and you want it to not make a mess. What's also very important, though, is that you have to minimize the amount of washing up you have to do for yourself. The big problem here is that smoothie makers are often very inconvenient to wash and clean. This is true in particular thanks to their blades, which are awkward to reach and which rotate when you try to grip them. These factors combine to make cleaning out your blenders a right royal nightmare. Fortunately, some newer models have been designed with this in mind and feature blades that are easy to remove or which don't come into direct contact with the pulp and thereby stay cleaner. Another handy feature is the ability to remove the top of your blender and go. The first product to get famous for doing this was the NutriBullet, but its popularity has spawned countless copycats. The idea is simply that you have a blender and a water bottle combined in a single product, meaning that you don't have a separate glass to wash up. Prep and pick up is a concept that comes from the author Tim Ferriss. The idea is that you want to do all of your work in advance, so all you have to do when it comes to the crunch is pick it up and go. In our case, this means you're going to prepare your smoothie at the start of the week and then drink it throughout the week. One way to do this is just to make huge quantities of your smoothies on a Sunday and then store them in bottles in the fridge. Each morning you can simply grab a bottle and go without having to actually labor over it then and there. Some people also find it helpful to freeze the fruits themselves before dropping them into the blender. This is a great choice because it allows them to buy in bulk up front and then not worry about ripening. Keep in mind, though, that ripe fruit is less of an issue when it's being blended anyway. You can also make your life a little easier by ordering your fruits and vegetables online. This is a great choice if you find you're struggling to get time to head out and get your ingredients, as it means they will be ready for you and you can simply drop them in the blender ready to go. You can also make savings this way. But a note here, if you're interested in making savings on your fruits and vegetables, then the very best way to buy them is from a farmer's market. If you happen to have one near you, then make sure you take full advantage of it. You can also make your smoothies a little easier in numerous other ways. Using a pure fruit juice, for instance, can save you time and effort, and so too can using purees and canned fruits. These are especially useful for things like pineapples, peaches, and cranberries. Why? Because those ingredients are particularly difficult to prepare and involve a lot of peeling and de-seeding. By using a tinned fruit, you have it ready to go in a form that is soft and easy to blend. If you really don't have time to make your own smoothies, should you be tempted by store-bought smoothies? Is this a good way to get your ingredients without spending time? Well, the answer is yes and no. Of course, making your own smoothie gives you tighter control over the ingredients. It saves you a lot of money, and all in all, it's a smarter choice. While buying a store-bought smoothie might not sound like a lot of money, perhaps sending you back $2.50 a day, it will quickly add up, and that is actually $17.50 a week, $70 a month, and around $840 a year. But then again, if you normally get a coffee every morning, then you can swap it for a smoothie and spend just as much while getting health benefits instead of fueling yourself with that wired feeling that you get from coffee. If buying smoothies in town is the only way you can stick with it, then it's money well spent. But do be very careful to check the ingredients thoroughly. Just because the makers brag about how many whole fresh fruits they put in, that doesn't mean they haven't also flooded it with sugar, additives, and other things. Do your research carefully. Okay, so now you know why smoothies are so good for you, you know how to make them, and you know how to avoid the common pitfalls. So I guess it's time that we started looking at some actual recipes to help fortify your health and transform your energy and looks. We're going to start out with an energy and defense approach. The smoothies that we're looking at in this video and in part 2 are all about providing you with lots of energy and at the same time strengthening your immune system to provide you with better protection against illnesses and diseases. This is your basic smoothie, and it's the kind of purpose that most people associate with smoothies to begin with. So, what should you put into a smoothie designed for energy and defense? Well, here's one suggestion. It's called the morning wake-up smoothie. First up, the recipe, then we'll dive into why it works. You'll need half a cup of cold water, 1 beet, lemon juice to taste, a tablespoon of honey, 2 tablespoons of coconut oil, and 2 cups of mixed frozen berries. If you're used to having coffee first thing in the morning, then you might find that you rely on using something as a pick-me-up. The problem, though, is that coffee, A, doesn't have all that much nutritional value, and B, is addictive. Caffeine works by blocking the receptors in the brain that respond to adenosine, which is an inhibitory neurotransmitter that we produce as a byproduct of the energy process. The more time we spend working, the more adenosine builds up and the slower and less cognitively we become. By blocking these receptors, caffeine can prevent adenosine from having any impact, and this in turn means that the brain feels more awake. The problem is the brain responds to this. How? By creating more adenosine receptors. The result is that you now need even more caffeine to feel its effects. Worse is that when you aren't consuming any caffeine, you'll feel slow, lethargic, and prone to headaches. When you sleep, You, of course, aren't getting any caffeine, and some people now believe that the morning grogginess we all experience, sleep inertia, is actually often caused by caffeine withdrawal. Then there's the fact that the caffeine stimulates the release of stress hormones like cortisol and norepinephrine. It would be a fairly accurate description to say that caffeine is like stress in a cup. As you can probably work out by now, coffee isn't a healthy choice for a morning boost. This smoothie, on the other hand, is, and it has a ton of different ingredients that do a world of good to wake you up in the morning, provide you with energy throughout the day, and to protect you from harm. Let's examine each ingredient. A mixture of berries is a fantastic way to improve your immune system and to protect yourself against a number of health problems, cancer in particular. That's because berries are absolutely packed with antioxidants. Antioxidants are substances that combat the action of free radicals in the body. Free radicals, meanwhile, are compounds that damage cells when they come into contact with them. These can cause visible signs of aging as the damage becomes more visible in our skin and in our hair. But more concerning is what happens when those free radicals break through our cell walls and all the way to our nuclei, the centers of the cells that contain our DNA. When this happens, they can damage those strands of DNA enough to cause small mutations. And if those mutations are copied, this is how we get cancerous growths. In short, a diet high in antioxidants is one of the very best things you can look for to improve your health. Adding berries to a smoothie is one of the best ways to accomplish this by far. What you're really going to feel when you drink this smoothie, though, is the power of the beet juice. Did you know that beet juice is actually such a potent performance enhancer that it's used by a number of different athletes? That's because beet juice acts as a vasodilator. A vasodilator is something that widens the blood vessels, the veins in the arteries, and thereby helps more blood and oxygen to travel around the body. This means more blood and oxygen to your brain, which in turn translates to better concentration, better mental energy, and better cognitive performance. It also means you're likely to enjoy better energy in general, and you may experience considerable performance improvements if you head out for a long run. Honey is a great choice for energy because it provides its sugar in a number of different ways. Specifically, honey contains both fructose and sucrose, which are absorbed into the bloodstream at different rates. This means honey can give you a little sugar hit right at the start of the day, but will also serve as a slower supply to keep you going until lunch. This can help prevent snacking. Of course, honey also lends our smoothie a bit of sweetness. Coconut oil is another very powerful inclusion in this smoothie. Everything is there for a reason. Coconut oil is a good choice because it contains a very specific type of fat, medium-chain triglycerides. This fat is absorbed differently from other types of fat in the body and will head straight for your liver, where it will stimulate the production of ketones. Ketones are interesting to us because they serve as a secondary form of energy for the body. When the body doesn't have glucose, it relies on ketones instead. Thus, your body can survive on ketones, and actually the brain prefers ketones for certain tasks. Any mixture with coconut oil is going to give you a big boost and will help you to feel more alert and alive. Finally, we have lemon juice, which is a great source of numerous vitamins and minerals, as well as several other things. In this particular smoothie, the role of the lemon juice is to provide vitamin C and vitamin B6, as well as to give us that refreshing wake-up call that you can only get from citrus. Not a fan of that last smoothie? Well, the next one will help to support your immune system and fight stress, but without quite so much fuel in terms of ketones or vasodilation. Again, let's do the ingredients first. 2 bananas, 1 cup of orange juice, 1 peeled orange, 3/4 of a cup of almond milk, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1 carrot, peeled, and ice. This is another great one for combating morning fatigue and giving you some get up and go. The bananas are a great source of energy and also of potassium, which will help to fuel you for a lot longer than just those morning hours. The carrot is key because it contains good quantities of B6, as does the banana, and this helps the body to process energy from food. This means you'll get more use out of the carbs that you consume and out of the very sugar in this smoothie. Better yet, recent research suggests that lutein, which is found in carrots, might be effective in improving the energy efficiency of our mitochondria. Mitochondria are the small energy factories in our cells that have the job of turning glucose and other forms of energy into ATP, then using that ATP to drive the movement of muscles and fuel our cells. In one study, it was found that when mice were given lutein, they would run further on the wheel and actually burn a lot more calories, with no prompt from the researcher. Lutein requires a source of fat because it's fat soluble. The good news is that the almond milk in this very smoothie will do that job just nicely. Vanilla extract, meanwhile, is another potent antioxidant. As well as providing anti-inflammatory properties and combating cholesterol, it is a very good tool for making our smoothie a little sweeter on the way down. Finally, we have the orange, which is really the stress-busting part of the equation. There's a lot of orange in here, and it's going to provide a lot of vitamin C. Vitamin C plays a vital role because it's what the brain uses to make serotonin. Serotonin, meanwhile, is the happiness hormone and our very own natural anti-anxiety medication. By keeping your blood sugar steady and providing serotonin, this drink can set you up in a good mood and provide the perfect start to the day. And we'll continue this video in part 2. Welcome to part 2. In part 1, I gave you the recipes for a couple of energy and defense smoothies. In this video, I want to share 2 more. Got a challenging day up ahead? Then this brain fuel smoothie should provide your grey matter with everything it needs to ace any challenge that comes your way. It contains protein powder, half a banana, 1 to 2 teaspoons of coconut oil, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, and 1 to 2 teaspoons of yerba mate green tea. This combination is a powerful smoothie for anyone looking to boost their concentration and focus. The first thing of interest here is the protein powder. Now, normally you would drink this on its own as a milkshake, but we're going to incorporate it into our smoothie. Protein is brain food because it's where we get our amino acids being key players in the creation of numerous neurotransmitters. In short, our brains need protein to function properly, and protein powder, which is whey protein, is a great place to get it. Next up, we have banana and coconut oil, which we've already seen the benefits of. Coconut in particular is crucial for brain power, and it's actually the key ingredient in a lot of products designed to enhance brain performance, like bulletproof coffee and like brain octane oil. Cinnamon, meanwhile, is a very healthy way to add more flavor to our drink. It not only lowers blood sugar, but it also helps to reduce the likelihood of heart disease. In fact, the ability of cinnamon to reduce blood sugar is so potent that it's often recommended for diabetic patients. It makes it perfect for us to, once again, avoid those spikes and drops in blood sugar that can otherwise ruin our performance. Cinnamon also packs a lot of antioxidants to help support the brain for the long term. The final ingredient here, though, is the yerba mate green tea, which you can get from health food stores or online suppliers. Green tea is a fantastic option for anyone looking to enhance their brain power and is a better choice than coffee. For starters, the caffeine content is considerably lower in green tea, which means you can get the slight boost without worrying as much about stress, jitters, and addiction. Moreover, green tea contains the ideal combination of caffeine and fellow xanthine L-theanine. L-theanine has an effect on the brain that is somewhat the opposite of caffeine, and in that it's gently inhibitory. Many people find that when they combine caffeine with L-theanine, the two complement each other perfectly. The caffeine helps to wake people up and make them more alert and focused, while the theanine helps to keep them calm and prevents stress levels from reaching an all-time high. Green tea is also once again very high in antioxidants too. Any green tea will do the job nicely, but we chose yerba mate because it has perhaps the perfect balance of all the key ingredients. In fact, Darwin himself is reported to have described green tea as the most perfect stimulant. Well, we can't argue with that. This should also serve to be neuroprotective and reduce the likelihood of Alzheimer's, dementia, or other forms of cognitive decline. Finally, let's take a look at a breakfast smoothie that has one job: to fill you up and keep you going till lunch for those big days. It contains half an avocado, 150 grams of strawberries, 4 tablespoons of low-fat natural yogurt, 200 milliliters of semi-skim milk, lemon or lime, and honey. And this is a smoothie designed to see you through the day until lunch and will help boost your performance and prevent cravings. The best part of this smoothie is the avocado, which delivers a delicious base, but which also helps to release energy very slowly throughout the day, thanks to its status as a healthy saturated fat. It was once thought that saturated fats would cause weight gain and heart problems. More recently, though, studies have shown this not to be the case. While saturated fats do contain more calories, they're also actually better for us thanks to their slow release of energy, which makes them very effective in providing us with a steady supply of energy and avoiding sugar spikes in the blood. We've also seen that honey has a similar effect when it comes to releasing energy slowly. And that low-fat yogurt can help to get your gut bacteria in check, which is very important for digestion. This is something we'll be looking at in more detail in the next videos. Hopefully, this has given you a few ideas for great morning smoothies that you can use to start your day right. And by sharing the reasoning behind each one and the reason they're so potent, you'll hopefully now have a better idea of how to bring about similar effects while still experimenting with the ingredients as you see fit. More importantly, I hope these videos have now opened your eyes to the real power of smoothies. We're talking game-changing improvements in performance and health here. These smoothies don't just give you a bit of energy and nutrition. When you stick with them, they'll help to protect your brain as it ages, protect your cells from cancer, and more. And we're just getting started. You have seen a bunch of smoothies that you can rely on as your morning pick-me-up, and any of these will help you to improve your general health while also starting to feel much more energetic, not just in the mornings, but throughout the entire day. Remember, one smoothie will make you feel better for a few hours, but it's by drinking smoothies regularly that you start to see the benefits build up over time and really change your life. You need to stick with it. That said, you might find you want to experiment with some different ingredients to see if you can enjoy some of the many possible benefits of smoothies. This video is going to look at some more general positive health effects of drinking smoothies. In particular, we'll discover how you can boost your sleep, aid your digestion, and even combat a hangover. This bedtime smoothie will help you to not only sleep more deeply and get better restoration, but will also help you to be more anabolic through the night so that you build up more muscle. It contains 2 cups of whole milk, half a banana, 2 tablespoons of peanut butter, cherries, kiwi fruit, and 1 tablespoon of honey. There's a lot of good stuff in this smoothie that will help you to sleep more deeply and wake up feeling more energized. For bodybuilders and athletes, this smoothie will also help to put you in a more anabolic state, meaning that you'll produce more testosterone through the night and wake up with enhanced energy. So, how does it all work? Well, first up, the whole milk. Whole milk is an ideal choice for drinking before bed, and especially for men. That's because whole milk can drastically increase testosterone production, and the majority of our testosterone production occurs during sleep. Specifically, we produce the most testosterone at 4 a.m. Why is whole milk so important for testosterone? Well, simple. Testosterone is made from healthy saturated fats, and whole milk contains lots of saturated fat. Women, meanwhile, can just enjoy the soothing benefits of milk, which should help put them in the mood for sleep. The peanut butter in here is partly because it will provide a source of protein while you're sleeping as well, so that your body can put that testosterone to good use and build muscle. Next up comes that tablespoon of honey, which is once again perfect for supplying energy both slowly and quickly. This actually has a particular benefit while you sleep, though, because you need energy while you sleep in order to enjoy the greatest restoration. One reason a lot of us wake up feeling groggy and unwell, other than the aforementioned caffeine withdrawal, is that we have such low blood sugar. If you recall how rough you feel when you haven't eaten anything for a while, imagine how your body must feel after not eating for 8 hours. Honey can solve this problem by ensuring you have a steady supply throughout the night, and several health writers like Seth Rogen highly recommend it right before bed. Cherries are the cherry on top. That's because, other than being a great source of vitamin C and excellent antioxidants, they also happen to provide us with a natural source of melatonin. And if melatonin is familiar, it's probably because you know it as the sleep hormone. This is what the brain produces to get us ready for bed, and it can thus make us fall asleep faster and also enjoy a deeper rest when we eventually get there. Why is kiwi fruit in here? Well, actually, it's carefully chosen for its synergistic effects with the peanut butter and the banana. Across these 3 ingredients, we have ample sources of zinc, magnesium, and vitamin B6, the very same ingredients that make up the popular supplement ZMA, or ZMA as it's also pronounced. ZMA is a supplement used by athletes to encourage deeper sleep and also to produce more testosterone. The magnesium and zinc will also have a powerful beneficial effect on brain plasticity. In other words, they will help your brain to rewire itself and form new connections, cementing everything that you learned during the day. That last smoothie will also work very nicely as a hangover cure, or you can simplify it and just use the most important ingredients: peanut butter, banana, honey. In fact, I would recommend that you do this and also replace the milk with water. Milk is not terribly friendly after a hangover, as it can curdle somewhat in the stomach and make you gag. Add a little salt and lemon too to create this: peanut butter, banana, honey, water, pinch of salt, pinch of lemon. The other 3 ingredients, though, are perfect for making you feel much better after a big night out. Firstly, the bananas will provide you with a natural alkaline. This will help to counteract the unwanted effect of the acidity in the stomach and provide a natural antacid. Good start. At the same time, though, it will also help you to replenish your potassium. Increasing potassium is very important, as you will have lost your electrolytes from drinking. This is partly what's causing your headaches, and it's also why you experience cramping in the night. This is also why we've included a little salt so that you get the sodium and potassium balance back up to scratch. It's a little like drinking an isotonic sports drink. Next up is the honey, which is incredible for hangovers. Yes, it will improve your blood sugar and give you some much needed energy, but at the same time, it will also provide you with a way to counteract acetaldehyde. Acetaldehyde is the main toxic substance that the body creates when it breaks down alcohol. This is precisely what's causing the majority of your symptoms, and it needs to go. Guess what gets rid of acetaldehyde? Fructose. The water, meanwhile, will rehydrate you, while the protein in the peanut butter will help you to replenish your neurotransmitters and also get rid of those munchies. Why drink a smoothie to improve digestion? Of course, this can be helpful if you have any digestion troubles that lead to acid reflux, etc., but it's also just a good idea for your general health. You know all those nutrients you're getting through your smoothies? Well, as it happens, they're only going to be of any use if you can actually digest them and put them into action. And unfortunately, a lot of us have poor digestion and struggle with this. That's particularly true if you're someone who experiences a lot of stress in their life. The reason that stress prevents digestion is because stress causes blood flow to be directed towards the functions that are considered critical for survival, the fight or flight. And these include the likes of the muscles, the brain, and the senses, but not the digestion or immune system. What's more, we require a lot of particular elements in our diet in order to be able to digest food properly, and many of us just aren't getting these crucial things. For example, certain fruits will contain enzymes that naturally help you to break down foods. One of the best known examples of this is pineapple, which contains bromelain, which is also very good for your teeth. At the same time, fermented foods, raw vegetables, and things like yogurt are helpful to us because they contain live cultures of friendly bacteria. They're referred to as friendly bacteria because they have positive roles in the body, including the ability to create a lot of important micronutrients and to help us create digestive enzymes. If you suspect you need a little help with your digestion, then try making a smoothie that contains any of the following ingredients, all of which have very positive effects on digestion: pear, pineapple, watermelon, melon, papaya, hamai melon, orange, tangerine, guava, mango, cauliflower, Chinese yam, tomato or tomato as it's often pronounced, spinach, cabbage, pumpkin, grape, sugarcane, grapefruit, catnip, and probiotics like yogurt and fermented foods. This time I'll leave the precise mixture up to you. This is a great combination, though, for creating a green smoothie that will also be low in sugar and provide you with lots of further nutrients. Smoothies can help with practically every aspect of your health, and that includes boosting performance for gym rats and other people interested in building muscle or losing weight. If you want a smoothie that will take you beyond just being healthy, these are some of the best options for reaching your weight loss goals or muscle building. The long-distance smoothie can help you to get more out of your runs and improve your performance in all kinds of aerobic exercise. The precise ingredients are 1 cup of frozen blueberries, 1 cup of coconut water, 2 tablespoons of chia seeds, 2 medium frozen bananas, a pinch of salt, and 1 beet. This combination has a ton of different benefits that will help you to run further and faster and lose more weight as a result. You'll already be familiar with some of them. We've seen that beets help to improve vasodilation, for example, to help you get more blood and oxygen around the body for weight loss. We've also seen that coconut oil, and thus coconut water, can provide you with a whole lot of energy in the form of ketones. The decision to use water rather than milk is important to prevent bloating and to help you feel light when you hit the tarmac. Just make sure that you give yourself plenty of time before you go for the run. Ideally, you want to consume this around an hour before you head out. Then there's the blueberries, which will fuel you with vitamin C, and the bananas, which provide plenty of good, usable energy. You might have also guessed that the salt and the bananas are in there to replenish electrolytes as you run and to avoid cramping. All that remains is the chia. What's all this about? Well, chia seeds are some amazing seeds that have the ability to hold several times their volume of water. So you can consume them and they will slowly release all of that fluid inside the stomach. What makes this so amazing is that it allows you to have a steady supply of hydration as you run. If you've ever heard of the Tarahumara tribe, a tribe of people who are known to run marathons on a highly regular basis, then it might interest you to know that chia seeds are thought to be one of the keys to their amazing abilities. Then there's the muscle building smoothie. It contains 2 cups of whole milk, 1 helping of chocolate protein shake, half a banana, 2 tablespoons of peanut butter, cherries, kiwi fruit, and 1 tablespoon of honey. Now, this is the same smoothie we had for sleep, but with the addition of the protein shake. Again, you'll likely want to choose whey protein, which will release steadily into the bloodstream and which comes from milk, so it's very healthy and natural. Drink this smoothie straight after a workout, and you'll replenish your muscles by providing the amino acids they need to repair micro tears caused by training. What's more, the sugar in the smoothie will head straight to the muscles to restore glycogen, rather than being stored as fat. Better yet, consume this smoothie just before bed and you'll have another anabolic window where you'll see enhanced muscle growth. In this case, though, you may want to use a casein protein instead of whey. Casein releases protein much more slowly, and this in turn means that it will provide a steady supply as you're sleeping. How can a smoothie filled with sugar possibly help you to lose weight? Read the ingredients, then we'll get down to the mechanics of how this one works. The key ingredients are 2 kiwi fruit, 1 green apple, a handful of spinach, 1 leaf kale, 1 banana, half a cup of fresh apple juice, matcha tea, pinch of ground cayenne pepper, and lemon juice. Firstly, this is a vegetable smoothie that will provide you with much less sugar for each glass and thereby be less likely to lead to fat storage. This is one for those who are worried about their teeth too. Meanwhile, the apple will provide you with vitamin C. Vitamin C is important because, as we've seen, it can increase serotonin. What we didn't mention about serotonin, though, is that it helps to suppress the appetite. Meanwhile, the matcha tea, ground cayenne pepper, and lemon juice are all thermogenic to some extent. That means they actually raise your metabolism to help you burn more calories throughout the day. If you can use this smoothie instead of having your regular breakfast, you should find it does a ton of good in helping you to burn through calories. And this is especially true if you have it within 30 minutes of waking up. The spinach will supply you with a good amount of protein, and studies show that consuming protein as soon as you wake up can lead to weight loss. Now you not only have a huge selection of delicious smoothies to choose from, but you also have a full understanding of why they're so important for your health and how you can use them strategically to enhance your weight loss, boost your immune system, build strength, and more. Make sure you don't consume more than 1 of these a day and that you use the tips provided to actually make them fit into your lifestyle. Think about what results you want from your smoothie and design a few recipes that you can use to get all the different benefits you require. That might be better digestion, better sleep, muscle building, fat loss, or all of the above. And of course, you should vary your smoothies and have different combinations to maximize the variety in your diet. That said, you should also make sure to keep coming back to the same smoothies and same ingredients to ensure that you get the long-term benefits of building up lots of antioxidants and nutrients. How about having a weight loss smoothie every other day and an energy stroke defense smoothie in between? You'll find that whatever your choice, you start to quickly feel more energetic and generally healthier. Your mood will improve, you'll lose fat, and you'll develop a healthy glow that you just can't get from supplements. Of course, for best results, combine this with a healthy lifestyle and training regime. You won't believe just how transformative these effects are, but you're going to have to actually give it a go to find out. And I wish you every success.